Okay, we're about to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the show. Okay, you ready? Check in now. Check in. Here we go. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? Okay. Here we come. Here we go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Ooh, that's what we're talking about. We are talking about Puffy, the pop star. Diddy. Did he do it or didn't he do it? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show today. We have a very special segment today talking about the interview that rapper Shyne did most recently as related to the Club New York shooting. And why is this so important for me? Is because I covered that trial in New York. And covering that trial, I had the opportunity to watch the trial from gavel to gavel. I watched the testimony of the expert witnesses, as well as those who were at the club that night. One individual who took the witness stand over close to 20 years ago became a good friend of mine. He is a 5, 6 time martial arts expert. He teaches various styles of karate in New York, but he's also the head of a security company that provides security for many of the high profile celebrities, some who's who. You name them, he's probably protected them with his security team. He's also co partner with the hip hop cop most people know as Derek Parker. Derek Parker and he are partners in a security company as well. Prior to Derek Parker becoming a partner in his security company, he was the intelligence guy, so to speak, to the people to members of the hip hop culture, in that he was the guy in the police department that infiltrated the culture. He's now doing interviews all over the place, but we haven't brought him on this platform yet. But what we do have is my good friend Glenn Beck. We interviewed him earlier today because he's on a detail right now, so he wasn't able to be a part of the show. But we did have an opportunity to interview him, and we have the recording of the interview. And I say we. Why do I say we? It's because I'm joined in with the legal eagle, the girl from Dallas, Texas, the attorney y'all know as Velma, Lawyer Bay Anderson. What's going on, Velma? You gotta turn that mic up. Your sound is off. You're muted. You're still muted. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Can you hear her? Okay. Well, she did show her face. She's coming back. She's coming back. Hello, chat. Hello, D. I got to shout out. I got to shout my members and my mods. First of all, shout out to D the Diva. We got B More Shorty. I see you. D, 2 D's in it. One you have to change your name. Princess AG. I see you. I see you. But let me bring on my co-host today. Where is she at? She's somewhere around the streets. Thelma, are you there? Mic check.
I'm here.
I see her, but our lips weren't moving. But let's go, Thelma. So, Thelma, you and I had the opportunity to talk to an individual that was there the night of the shooting, and we're going to play some portions of that interview. But before we do that, we have to play. Not your keyboard, by the way. We have to play. We have to play
We got
the
work. We got money to make.
right. We have to play the Shine, some portions of the Shine interview. Before we go into that, you have already, I won't say gave an opinion yet, but what was your thoughts about the Shine interview? And I'm going to give you my thoughts, and we're going to listen to the person who was on the scene. Let's go.
A lot of corruption went down in this prosecution. That's what I'm gonna say. I feel like some money exchanged hands. I feel like Shine didn't have an advocate for him. He had an advocate for someone else that had a greater interest. So yeah, he got railroaded.
Well, what do you say to what do you say about the fact that when he came home, him and Diddy was lock stock together? Why would any individual uh, take the take the fall and to be closest to the person that others, not him, have suggested actually did the shooting? But then
I
we
don't
go
think it wasn't Shine didn't initiate that. We don't know what conversation made him comfortable to have a conversation with a man who the world knows that, in our opinion, set well, in my opinion,
right, right,
looks
right.
like he set them he was set up. So I don't know what kind of conversations was had, but it was clear that Shine wasn't the one that initiated the contact. It was Diddy who initiated the contact to reach out to him and go visit him and do this photo collage and for clickbait. And it to me it feels strategic. It feels like just like Diddy is going on this was trying to go on this campaign to make himself look like this model citizen and a model individual, especially in business. And it looks like everything that he was doing is coming back, and we can track that this was all a game for him to prevent the media outpour that is going against him right now.
Well, now while obviously you have your opinion, I'm going to have my opinion because one, you know, I have to go back to the trial. That's something that many of you probably weren't even able to walk into a courtroom, but I have to go back to that trial. I listened to a lot of the evidence. There was things that were not asked by the prosecution as it related to uh, any alternative people that could have committed this crime. And I would say that it is my belief today that Diddy did not shoot that girl, and I'm gonna support that with one testimony, the evidence, and the jury's verdict. And we're going to do it based on that. I'm going to do that. This is my belief. Well, hold on. I did cover that trial, and I do
It
have it.
you covered it, but clearly
Hold on.
you the one that just stated that it was some stuff that wasn't used in
And
that
we,
trial that could have been used. And
well,
even
can
more
I explain
so,
that?
the best person who were situated to see somebody shoot them was the victim. So are you literally telling the victim and Shine that now, even almost 20 years later, that there's no possibility that this person could have, like she said, shot her?
Well, let me say this. Even Shine said in his interview, and we're going to play the interview, he never said Diddy was responsible for that. What he said was that he was innocent. He didn't say Diddy. And when he was pressed in the interview as to establish who could have done it, he said it wasn't him. That young man,
Exactly. It wasn't him. I'm not talking about Shine saying that it was Diddy. Shine said that, hey, it definitely wasn't me.
that's
And the
his.
victim said, It was Diddy.
Okay. Well, that victim got on the stand as well. I saw her testimony. The jury did not believe her. You know why they didn't believe her, in my opinion? It's because she wasn't as clear that day as she is today. Which that is in listen, you can listen. And when you're in that witness stand, that's when you got to convince the jurors.
You don't know how are you going to say that she wasn't as clear as she was back then as she was today?
Because I covered the trial. And she definitely
So
wasn't.
what about her statements that she recently made contradicts and was not clear about what she said? Because clearly she said that Diddy was the one shot her. What about her statements have changed to say that she wasn't clear, because the only clarity she needed was to confirm who shot her?
Well, you just asked the question. If she said that back then, the way she's saying it now, and the jury didn't believe her, they had a reason. And with that said, we're going to play the interview that was conducted earlier today. Stand by. Hold on.
Yeah, it's sad and disappointing. I'm pissed off, to be honest.
Hold on. That's the wrong interview. Hold on. We don't play that one.
It's because I'm watching the money. Shyne comes running out. No big deal, because people run out all the time. You know, babysitter, emergency, lost my this, whatever. So he runs out of the club,
and let me say this real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. This is professional bodyguard security expert Glenn Beck. He's the person that I talked about in the very beginning. But we're going to listen to his interview that both I and Thelma was a part of today.
he runs back in. So of course the African guy, oh, that's Shyne. He doesn't search him. So he doesn't search him. He goes in. Right after he goes in, there's a fucking shooting. And Shyne comes running out. Now, he would normally have had to pass me, but that's not what happened. As you come out of the double doors, because it was on the second floor, because I was on the first, that's where the entry is, and then you go up a flight of stairs, and that's where the party is. Shyne goes in, minute and a half, 2 minutes later, there's a shooting. He comes flying out. Guess who is the very first person to leave the fucking club? Normally the girls are the first ones. They boogie. Anytime there's some major violence or some shit, the girls are the first ones out the door. They don't fuck around. Shyne is the first one through the fucking door, but he doesn't pass me. He's a level above me. But when you come through the doors, there's a small stairs.
So what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to upload it to the page, and we're going to play it much clearer, and then we can hear it much clearer. And let me say this. Someone said jury's paid off. We don't know that. I mean, no one's been proven to be paid off. We know that it was a verdict. And someone asked, can Diddy be prosecuted again for that crime? The answer is no. It's called double jeopardy. Correct?
It's called no to double jeopardy. Here's the issues that are going to come up. Did Diddy testify?
No.
Okay. So here are some of the issues that could come up for other individuals who were in close proximity, may have been attached to him, I don't know if they testified or not. They can be examined for making inconsistent statements, i.e. perjury. If it can be determined that someone lied on the stand. That's why I made the statement about J-Lo. J-Lo is not out of the clear because of statements that was made. So here's my thing. He can't be retried. However, individuals that are attached to him can be, if it's determined that some way there was some lies that were told under oath, which can constitute perjury. But those are links that have to go back, and I don't think it's going to happen because that can uncover some corruption.
Okay. And this is speculation because again, even you being an officer of the court, there's a jury verdict. There was a jury verdict, and Diddy was acquitted of the crime. So when someone says victim blaming, he's been adjudicated as innocent, and
Well,
he's been
I see
adjudicated.
why they said victim blaming, because you stated that she wasn't as clear as she was now. So
I mean, I
I
can say
get
that.
I get
I can say that because I covered the trial. She
well,
wasn't.
you can say that, but like I kind of clocked you on the fact that what was clear to her is that she always identified that one person that in her mind, in her vision, and what she saw and what she remembered is the one that shot her. So regardless of you're saying that she, anything that may be inconsistent, this person also has confirmed that she was being harassed, she was afraid for her life. Get someone on the stand that is in front of someone. Even at that time, this man was powerful. You do not know how a person is going to react or respond on the stand when they have to recall and remember a traumatic experience in their life. So I don't think anything was inconsistent about her memory of the person who did it, and that's the only thing that mattered, is her identifying who shot her.
Now let's continue the audio. I think I have uploaded.
Shyne comes running out. No big deal, because people run out all the time. Babysitter, emergency, lost my this, whatever. So he runs out of the club, and maybe 2 minutes later, he runs back in. So of course the African guy, oh, that's Shyne. He doesn't search him. So he doesn't search him. He goes in. Right after he goes in, there's a fucking shooting. Then Shyne comes running out. Now, he would normally have had to pass me, but that's not what happened. As you come out of the double doors, because it was on the second floor, because I was on the first, that's where the entry is, and then you go up a flight of stairs, and that's where the party is. Shyne goes in. Minute and a half, 2 minutes later, there's a shooting. He comes flying out. Guess who is the very first person to leave the fucking club? Normally, the girls are the first ones. They boogie. Anytime there's some major violence or some shit, the girls are the first ones out the door. They don't fuck around. Shyne is the first one through the fucking door, but he doesn't pass me. He's a level above me. But when you come through the doors, there's a small stairwell to the right, going up, 3, 4 stairs, 5 stairs. He runs up there and goes through that door. That door leads to the hotel. Then he comes down those stairs and comes flying out. Now, mind you, there was just a shooting, and everybody fucking knows it. There's 2 uniforms outside. Some guy coming out of a club, and there was just a shooting, so they nab him. He's got a gun on him. So they arrest him. So that's the first portion. The second portion, Miss Thelma, is this. Now, mind you, I wasn't inside for any of this, but now Puffy and his crew come flying out. I mean, it's like Shyne, Puffy and his crew. He's got security with him. He's got some professional guys, and then he's got guys who are just tough enough to be his security around him. So they come flying out. Either the first or the second step, maybe it was the third, whichever one, coming down the stairs. The stairs are circular. It goes down. Okay, imagine coming out double doors, right? There's a small landing. Hold on. There's a small landing. To the right of the landing is the door where Shyne escaped. If you go forward a step or two, the landing goes directly to the right and goes down these stairs. The first, second, or third, I think it was the second step, was broken. It had been broken since the day I worked there for months. And people fell down these stairs constantly. So Puffy and his crew are moving at breakneck speed. They got a boogie. They slip down the fucking stairs. All of them. Because one is pulling, one is pushing. His bodyguards, one is pulling, one is pushing. And Jenny's in the middle. They come flying down the stairs, but the wall doesn't, like when you get to the bottom of the stairs, it's not a flat wall. It's circular. What happened was, whoever the first one was, it might have been, I know him too. Correctional officer. I can't remember his name right now. His shoulder hit the wall, but he didn't stop because it was circular. So he kind of rode it around like it's on tracks or something. They all did this. They get up, they go down the stairs, and they all leave. All right. So whatever happens, right? They're driving. From what I understand, it's alleged, from my perspective, because I wasn't there, that there was some gun or bullshit or whatever found in the car, whatever. So let's say there was. Let's say, all right, the cop said it was proven. Okay, I believe him. So there was a gun or two in the car. So were any of the ballistics match those guns? No one ever said it in trial. Wolf beat trial. Puffy beat trial.
That's right.
The only one who didn't was Shyne. Only Shyne. So was there any GSR on Wolf's shirt? No.
No.
Was there? And the other security guard, I think his name was Craig, but it's been years. But there was no GSR. It was never in the fucking trial. It was never on any of the papers. And with Puffy, they'd have said anything to fucking nab him.
Absolutely.
So there was no GSR on the shirts, as far as I know. My partner is Derek Parker. He was the investigator for it. He never told me that there was any GSR found. Okay, what about ballistics? There were no striations that were found on any of the guns that they pulled from him that said, "Hey, this goes to the shooting there." And the woman Natalia Rubin, I think it was Natalia Rubin, who unfortunately from what went on, got hit in the nose. So she has fragments. I say again, fragments in the in her face or nose. Okay, well, I'm sorry that this has happened to you, but even if they pull them out, she's like, "Oh, I'll pull them out." What are they going to find on fragments? What striations are they going to find from? Nothing. Now, if there was a hair in there from his head or his mustache or his beard or something, okay, so sure, he scuffed the counter and whatever, but that's not what's going on here. People are just talking.
And Thelma,
there's only so many of us here.
Right.
Yeah.
So Thelma, I want to give you some background. I've known Glenn for 20 plus. When was the trial, Glenn? 30 years ago, right?
The trial was in 20. No, the trial was about 21 years ago, 23 years ago.
23 years ago.
The trial was.
Right. So I've known Glenn.
We know each other since long before that.
Right. So with that said, Glenn has provided security for some of the biggest names in entertainment. When I say biggest names, I don't want to go through his client list, but they're the who's who in entertainment. And I sat when he was giving his testimony, and I'll tell you who was in the court. It was Ben Brofman. It was Johnny Cochran. And Shyne had his attorney. And it was in New York. If they had any GSR found on Diddy, they would have brought it out. Especially Manhattan prosecutors, they would have brought it out. But who did they find with a gun and running out?
The guy that ran by me twice.
Right, Shyne. So I listened to Shyne's interview, and with Shyne, things he didn't say, and he's riding on that. Well, he's not going to throw Puffy under the bus. Well, you're probably not going to do that. It's clear that you're not trying to throw Puffy under the bus. You did when they asked you a specific question, and you heard the interview, Thelma. They asked him a specific question. Are you saying that this was a lie? And he didn't want to comment to that. It's a reason because at the end of the day, I can't say if he was if he was paid off or not. But at the end of the day, there was nothing to support Puffy being convicted. It was he had some of the best attorneys there, but there was also some really the best prosecutors on the case as well. And you have Derek Parker, who's by far one, and they call him the hip hop police back then, right, Glenn? He was
the original hip hop cop in America. He was the guy that figured out all the crimes. They used to send him to other states and all kinds of other stuff to teach police detectives and cops how to deal with the rap, how to go around looking for them, how to figure certain things out. He was an intel guy. And he did it all on his own. He was the and only hip hop cop. Yep.
That's right. So, Thelma, any questions for Glenn?
No, not necessarily, because the one thing that I do know, because being a former prosecutor, and then I've been taken off of high profile cases because I've found too much. Something in my spirit is telling me that there were things done behind the scenes with these prosecutors as to why and how his case ended up being an acquittal and Shyne ended up being a conviction.
Maybe
All
because
right, so let me
get it, Glenn.
I met Matthew Donos. He and I got along immediately. We're both U.S. Marines. He was an officer. Actually, he was an officer at the time. He was a lieutenant colonel in the reserve, and he used to go and try, like, during one of, I think the first war, he found I think it was Desert Storm and it was Desert Shield and Desert Storm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know my co-host has a show to. She has a 5 minute. You got to be there 5 minutes. She has a interview to do with one of her clients. So I want to possibly bring her up once she's done. But she has to go do some other girly things. I don't want to talk about what you got to do. But we're gonna continue this conversation. I want to thank you. We're gonna continue playing what Glenn has said, and you need to take yourself off of mute. You're on mute.
I know. I'm trying to leave out like the church people.
No. We listen. You know what we do when we see them trying to sneak out while putting that money in the plate? We shut the doors.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Dumbo. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, I want to continue playing. First of all, before I continue playing his interview, I saw Ann up in the comment section. They were paid off. I can't follow you no more. You're victim blaming. No, Ann. No, I'm not. All I'm saying is, when people say stuff like the jury's paid off, people were paid off, it's corruption. None of that has been proven. Years later, 21 years later, and people are still saying, now all I can say this. The victim believed that Puffy did it. The victim believed that. That's what the victim believed. And I'll say this. Just because that is her belief, that doesn't necessarily have to be my belief or any other person's belief. And clearly the jury didn't believe her. And someone has asked the question, why didn't the jury believe her? Not because they were paid off. Just ask a logical question. Why didn't the jury believe her? Why? And you got to give me a logical answer, not just say because they were paid off, because that's not that. It's no proof. Nothing came out that ever said that a juror was paid off. So when we say believe the victim, do we give victims blanket belief, or do we at least look at all other possibilities? Because Shyne was caught with the gun in his hand after he cut through the Club New York and ran through the hotel. He ran right into the arms of the police with a gun. He ran into arms with, at least one thing for certain, two things for sure. He would not be on trial. He would not have went on trial if they didn't find a gun in his hand. And why did others say, see, you guys got to get the transcript. You got to look at the transcript because a lot of you didn't even cover the trial. You probably even step in the courtroom. Now, and saying they're starstruck. They're starstruck. There have been many jurors that have convicted celebrities. There have been many jurors that convicted celebrities. So that's not even something that I can consider right now. The jurors are starstruck at times. I agree, but how do you know that was the case in this verdict? They all had a unanimous verdict. A unanimous verdict. And he has Who we saying has GSR? Puffy never had GSR. He never had any. If Puffy had GSR on his anywhere on his body, that would have been a part of the trial. That's the other thing. Johnny Cochran, along with Ben Brofman, made that a point. My client doesn't even have GSR on him nowhere. My client doesn't have GSR on him anywhere. So that tells you something. Even the forensic evidence didn't point to Diddy. Shyne had GSR on him. Yes. Shyne did. Now, is it a possibility that there was someone else that fired the shot and got away? Now, that could be a more logical plausibility than saying the jurors were paid, they were starstruck. Poppycock. Now, there was a club. I've been in clubs where shootings happen. I've been in a club where a shooting happened when Queen Latifah was there and we both hit the floor. I've been in another club where a shooting happened when Jermaine Dupri was there. We hit the floor. I've been in several clubs where shots were fired and people were scattered all over the place. And you don't know who was doing the shooting. You just you need to get the hell out the room, out the building. So with that said, there could be, and the person, the promoter at the time was Tammy Ford. Anyone knows about club promoters in New York? She was one of the biggest promoters in New York. Her, Jessica, Club Tunnel, several other major promoters in New York, but they were big there. If Puffy was coming to your party, you had to be a big deal. If Russell was coming to your party, you had to be a big deal. If Jay-Z, Beyonce was coming to your party, you had to be a big deal. And these are big time promoters. So the victim said she saw Puffy do it. Could she be mistaken? And that's the other possibility. Could she be, in all that was going on in that club, could she be mistaken? There's a possibility she could have been mistaken as well. There's, with the shock, she was shot. Is there a possibility that she could be mistaken? Yes, there's a possibility she could be mistaken. It's nothing absolute. And the jury obviously believed the defense. And they rendered a not guilty. So I know you guys are saying, hey, Puffy's, his name is all over the streets being dragged in. But in this instance, he had a day in court. He went through the process of a trial, and he was fully adjudicated in that case. So now people want to jump on and say, hey, well, he probably did it. No. The jury has spoken that one. No double jeopardy. If they're going to get him on anything, they got to give him some new stuff. They have to. All the other stuff, he paid people off. He's a star. Okay, whatever. I don't know about no harassment. I don't know about no harassment. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I said paid off, which does happen if you get to the way. Listen, Harlem, New York. Listen, I don't know what part of Harlem you're from. I was in Harlem, 141 Lenox Avenue. But this is not a Harlem. This is not. Listen. I don't know if you're from Harlem, because come on now, my people in Harlem use a lot of common sense. You must be from the new Harlem, not the old Harlem. Come on now. Oh my goodness. I just had to put you up there. I had to put you out there. I'm sorry. Drew Houses. You from Drew Houses? Okay, I'm Lenox Terrace. What do you know about Lenox Terrace? Don't play with me. Okay, was he tried that? I'm from Old Harlem. Wait, listen, Lenox Terrace still there. Pans, 135th, Harlem Hospital. Don't. Sylvia's. Don't let me. Listen, I ran all up and down Harlem. Don't listen. 125th, British Walkers. Don't play with me. Apollo Theater. Don't do that. Mark 125. You know I'm from Harlem. Don't play with me. I'm from the Bronx, but I'm also lived in Harlem. Come on. No. You're trying to assault my intelligence, because at the end of the day, People fight to get in court. They fight to get in court. They fight to get a day in court, to get heard, to get justice. This is what they fight for. This is what they fight for. And I'm not saying this is this particular person's situation, but if you Diddy is a big target. Just think about this. Puffy is a very big target. He's a very big target for those who want to eat off him, feed off of him. And it's a fact. Now, has he done any things wrong in the past? Absolutely. I also know about the tragic situation that happened at City College, where he didn't have proper security. He oversold the event, and people died. People died in that situation. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, there are other plausible possibilities. You know, the person said then she believed Puffy shot her. She said this. She believed then that Puffy shot her. But with the evidence that came out and the way the defense was able to paint a different picture, they found that that he was innocent. They was innocent. They believed that it could have been someone else who did it. They believed that it was someone else who could have did it. I mean, come on now. Listen, Harlem, New York. Stop saying the jury paid off. I want to say that's foolishness. It's ridiculous. You got no proof to support a jury's been paid off. Come on, you got to come better than that. Now, don't go say the jury's paid off. Whenever you listen, verdicts come, the verdicts come down every day in America. There's a verdict every day in America. It's a verdict every day. And there's celebrities that go on trial, not every day, but there's celebrities that go on trial all the time. They do. And they're found guilty. They're found guilty. So let's listen to what else Glenn has said in this very exclusive interview. Let's listen to what Glenn has said.
During Desert Storm, he was out there looking for treasure. Sanctioned to do this. This is what they had him doing. He had a team of guys, and they were out there looking for the treasure for like Saddam Hussein or whoever it was. I don't quote me on the names and stuff, so I don't remember. But this is what he told me. He and I got along like two peas in a pod. Why? Because we're fucking Marines, and Marines are dummies. So Bogdanos, when he asked me questions, now he may have, but I don't remember one fucking question about Shyne. All I remember is him going about Puffy. Puffy would carry
I didn't hear him asking questions about Shyne at all, which I thought that was interesting. He never asked any questions about Shyne.
And I'm not there for the whole trial. I'm just there for my part. Right. But I don't remember. I even have my transcripts somewhere. I have the transcripts to the trial somewhere. At least my portion. With concerning Shyne, I mean, he didn't ask a single question. He was dead set at finding Puffy. So it is what it is. That's what so that's why I never said anything about the thing with Shyne. I just kept my mouth shut. He was there. So Bogdanos said to me, "Look, Glenn, what you have to say, I don't have anything. I don't have any use for you because what you have to say works for the defense." And then I got a call from one of Puffy's people who I know for a very long time. He said he'd like to talk to you. I said, okay. So I went in and I went into his offices. I knew him for many years already from clubbing and running clubs and him coming in. I knew him for many years, but we weren't like buddies or anything. But I knew him. Mm-hmm. So he said, literally, I walk in, I talk to him. He says, look, my life is on the line. Can you help? And I go, yeah, I can help. And I know other people who are there. Hold on one second. What? Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I did. Go inside. I'll be in the back door. Nothing nefarious. Yep. Sorry. I'm on a detail here. So my guys are inside. My wife just showed up, and I'm outside talking to you that I can right now. Yeah. So what part was I at? Oh yeah. He says, look, my life is on the line. Is there anything you can do to help? And I said, yeah. I said, I can tell my part, etc. And what I told was when he came after the shooting stuff, when he came running out, then he fell down the fucking stairs. He had a gun in his goddamn in his pocket. It would have torn his goddamn pocket. It would have slammed into his body. And I don't remember exactly what he was wearing, but he wasn't wearing something you know what? Who knows whether or not he could or couldn't have had a gun on him? But they didn't find one on him. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said they all fell down the goddamn stairs. When I told, because I had a relationship with the district attorney, I called him and I said, hey, look, I just want you to know, I said, I'm going to be on the, testifying for Puffy. He says, Glenn, I want you to come into my office. I said, okay. I went into the office. Now, I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I'm not a dummy either. So what did he do? He probably was recording it. And everything that I said in his office the first time was exactly what I said on trial the second time. So I didn't, there's no perjury, nothing stupid. And if there was, he'd have called me out on it. He'd have pulled the tapes.
Mm-hmm. This is crazy.
So let me ask you the other part. J-Lo, there's been talks about J-Lo might have carried the gun and so forth. Can you talk about that part of the likelihood of that happening with, with...
It's the same likelihood, Thelma, correct? Miss Thelma? It's the same likelihood of Miss Thelma going out to the corner bodega right now and shooting somebody. That's the likelihood. Right now. No reason, just walk in, start shooting, grab a bag of chips and leave. She didn't have anything on her. My business partner is Derek Parker, who the district attorney introduced us. He said the district attorney goes, he introduced us because he was the rap intel guy and I was the rap guy on the street. So he introduces us. We want to become best friends, and we become business partners in my security company, like 2 years later. But I just lost my place. Derek, Jennifer Lopez. So I called my partner again the other day, and I said, Derek, I don't remember exactly what she was wearing, but I mean, at the time, this is 23 years ago, I said she didn't have anything. The clothes she was in, he said, Glenn, she was wearing some, as I thought, a tight pink outfit. Jennifer Lopez is it was one of the sexiest women alive at one point. There's no way she's running around in a fucking sweatsuit at a nightclub. You know what I mean? And you'll have to excuse me, Miss Thelma. I have a dirty mouth. I'm a Marine, bodyguard. So I'm from Brooklyn, so that should say everything.
She does too. Don't worry, Glenn. She does too.
Okay. So Jennifer Lopez didn't have a goddamn, and this is exactly the reason why I spoke to Dana Kennedy at the Post, because this Little Rod guy, whoever the hell he was, he's alleging that he was saying in his multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Puffy that Shyne was offered $1 billion to carry the gun. He had his own gun. What are you talking about? Number one. Number two, that Jennifer Lopez carried the gun. He can go. He's out of his mind.
Right. And Shyne got caught with a gun in his hand. He wasn't carrying a gun. He got caught running out the club through the hotel with a gun in his hand. That was the testimony.
Yeah. So Jennifer Lopez, and that's the reason when Dana Kennedy called me, I spoke to her. I'm going to blame Jennifer Lopez for some bullshit. Get out of here. She was fucking terrified. She sat in the thing. You know what? She sat handcuffed in the precinct until, he wasn't my business partner at the time, but until Derek Parker walked past everybody. The news reporters started clapping because they knew who he was. And the first thing he does is uncuff her. First thing they did. She was in fucking tears. No, I wasn't there, but he's my best friend. He's, everybody's got 3 or 4 best friends. He's one of my best friends. We've been We've been in business together since 2002.
Wow. So,
Yep.
can you? It's to me, it's kind of strange. Like after this happened, how she distanced herself from him so fast.
Well, think about it. Let's say you got a boyfriend and look, trouble followed him. It did, whether he did it, whatever. But why would she stick around? You know what I mean? She was Jenny from the block, and she realized, well, whatever's going on, it's not good for my career.
Right, and that's the bottom line.
Right, her mother was screaming at her. I told you not to go with him. Yeah, but she stayed for what, another year or two? Didn't she date him for like 2 more years? No, it wasn't immediate.
She didn't leave him immediately. She stayed around. She stayed around during the trial.
Right.
But did you see the body language though? Because what we know about this man now is something different in how he approaches his relationships and how he demands certain things to be done, and the threats that he makes in order to keep people under control.
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly, he settled with Cassie in those allegations.
Well, that's not allegedly. That's not allegedly. He did settle.
Now wait. Okay, so let's talk about Cassidy. Never met her. I don't know Cassidy. Tentatively, I might remember her if I see her, Cassie. If I saw her on the street now, I probably wouldn't recognize her, even though I've seen her face on the internet a couple times recently. So let's talk about her. She says, oh, he did this and this and this, and I'm going to stand up for all the women, right? Remember that? I'm going to stand up for all the women that were ever assaulted, et cetera, et cetera. Did she say this?
Mm-hmm.
Right up until he handed her a couple of bucks, and she says, all right, I'm done. So let's assume that something did happen. She folded pretty quickly, didn't she? One goddamn day. One day. So much for her solidarity with women, and I'm here for this. Anybody, and you're a prosecutor, you know this. Anybody could say, I got my money, so I'm done. I'm done.
She's not done though. She's now helping and cooperating with the investigation that the feds have going against him. And this is what
do we know? Hold on, Thelma. Do we know the substance of her what was said?
It doesn't matter.
We don't know she's cooperating. No, hold on.
Hold on. It does not matter what the substance is. We know what the basis of the Fed's investigation, and we know based off of her settling in under 21 days, she's not precluded from doing anything to help them in their settlement, in their investigation with the Feds. Let's also be very, very clear about what actually goes on in settlement negotiations. Victims.
Before we continue with that part, here's where I'm very careful about, for me, what we know. What we don't know is what was the substance of her purported interview with law enforcement. We don't know what she actually said or didn't say. That is a fact. No one here can tell me they know what Cassie may or may not have said. All we know, based on the reporting, is that she did speak to them. Now, where that goes, no one knows. So, again, no, listen. A lawsuit was settled. It wasn't tried by a jury. The lawsuit was settled. If someone files a lawsuit and it doesn't go through the process of and reaching a jury to get a verdict and it's settled beforehand, it's settled. No one even knows the terms of the settlement. As much as people want to speculate, they know, no one knows what were the terms of the settlement. That's foolishness. If you can tell what the terms of the settlement is, write it in the comment section. Write it in the comment section. You know what the terms of the settlement was. Cases get settled all the time. She was asking for 30 million. Did she get 5 million? Did she get 2 million? Was it a settlement? Was it a settlement for convenience? We do know that he had insurance. And because of the allegations that were raised in that complaint, he was under pressure to settle. He had to settle. This wasn't a case that you wanted to drag on for years and keep speculation out there. You had to settle this, especially you have insurance. So again, when people settle, they settle for numerous reasons. And it may be some facts to some of the things she said, but it has never been tested with a jury. That's my only point. It hasn't been tested with a jury where there's a verdict. Now, if he wanted to have a clean slate and he felt he was innocent, he should have took it I would say take it all the way to the jury. But there clearly is something there in that lawsuit that he did not want to go in front of a jury. He wanted to settle it because it probably was embarrassing and it would probably not, because if you know you're going to win the case, you believe you're going to win the case, you're going to stand on 10 toes down. He didn't, in my opinion, he didn't believe that he could beat this. That's my opinion. He didn't believe he could beat this because he settled. So, I mean, again, I say this even with criminal trials, innocent people don't plead guilty. But there are innocent people that went to jail because they may have been innocent for that particular crime, but because of their record, they wouldn't have had a fair shake with the jury. So, there's different variables. And anyone that have dealt in criminal or civil matters that went the distance, you know what I'm talking about. Not the speculation, not the social media, TikTok university people talking. We're talking about real life situations where people, they really test their innocence with a jury. They really do. They crank up the jury. You filed the lawsuit, you got the man's attention. Now what? You crank up the jury or you settle. Is the risk greater than the gain? That's what people look at. If the risk is greater than the gain, you got to look at what you got to look at what's at stake. You got to look at what you're going to lose if you go that route. So he was probably advised, this is probably not the fight you want. And that's what I believe. Now, Andre, I'm going to bring you up, Andre. I'm going to bring you up on the platform because you've been doing a lot of typing. I want to bring you up. I want you to stand on business and argue your point on the platform. I want to you can come on here. I want to hear your voice. Come on up here. Don't run off. I'm gonna post a link there. You are welcome to come up. You don't have to type in the comment section. Come on up and let the people hear you argue me down. And that's for anyone. Come on up. Stand on business. You have the opportunity to click on that link and talk about what you think this really means. What does Shyne's interview mean? And what does it mean to the overall picture of whether or not Puffy did it? Did he? Well, I'm going to say that the jury said he didn't do this. The jury said that. I'm not going to say, the jury's paid off. He's a celebrity. They were starstruck. I'm not saying all that because I got nothing to back that up. There's no facts to back that up. Has it happened before? Oh, yeah, it happened before in other cases. But we have nothing to support right now. We don't. Nothing. So with that said, you had the opportunity to come up. I didn't think you was going to come up. I called you out. I'm from New York. I called you out. Get on up here. Okay. Oh my goodness. She pulled up on me. Oh my goodness. She pulled up on me. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let me bring on my guest. Hey,
Hi,
how are you? How are you?
I'm well.
And-
How are you?
Andre Carr. Hey, Andre Carr.
It's
I don't call
Andrew.
Andrew. I don't called you up and called you out. And you pulled up. You
I
gangster.
did.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
For one, um, the way in which you're speaking to me, in my opinion, is troubling because you were victim blaming. And I won't just type it, I'll say it. You were victim blaming.
Ah!
The way in which you were speaking, you were blaming this woman for her own assault. And that's not right.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely not. But again,
Absolutely was. In my opinion. I
but
mean,
you
that's
did say it
my
was your opinion.
opinion.
You did
That's
say it was
my
your opinion.
opinion.
So
That's my opinion.
I'm gonna let you have your opinion.
Further, the way that this interview with whoever this gentleman is that you've conducted is troubling as well. J-Lo is no different from any other woman in this world. She's no better, no worse than anyone else. J-Lo is just as capable of having a gun in her purse as the dope boy girlfriend down the street.
Right. But
She is
that was
just as no. She wasn't checked. Her purse wasn't checked. He's talking about her clothing. To me, that's a red herring. He's talking real fast and passing by a whole bunch of stuff, thinking that no one is going to say, "Oh, wait, you're right. If she had on a tight pink dress, where she hide it? She could hide it right in her purse. That's what she would hide it.
have you ever
It's the
carried a gun
same
in the
place.
club? Have you ever
Oh, oh, please. I have not carried a gun into a club. I'm not crazy. However, I know plenty of people who have. I know plenty of dope boy girlfriends who carry dope, drugs, money, you name it, in the purses, in their underwear, in the socks, any way they could put it, under a breast. Literally, know plenty of them.
Okay,
No,
so
know plenty of them whose houses got tossed, and the only reason dude didn't go to jail is because she hid it somewhere on her person.
okay. Well, that I mean, what you said is accurate that anyone could carry a gun, but here's the other part to that. Did they actually do it? Anyone's capable, but again, there's
Did
no
they
proof.
do it? Did they
No,
do? We don't know. You know why we don't
no,
know? You know why we don't know?
why we don't know.
She wasn't searched directly following that. Why? Because they went on a chase on the darn highway, remember? I'm not young, I'm old.
You
I'm
said
old.
the highway. Well, they actually drove through the streets of
Well, you
Manhattan.
know what I mean, on the
Yeah,
streets. And
right.
so it was always assumed back then that that gun was discarded during from the time that they left there from to the time that they pulled over.
Well,
So
there were few.
we
There were. I'm gonna tell you what happened in the trial. Not what I'm gonna tell you what happened in the trial. During the trial, Benjamin Brofman, the attorney who is alive, uh, brought that out. He said, could it be a possible that it was others could have held the gun in the club? It was others. It
again,
was
but regardless, your question to me was, how do we know? Do we know she carried? I said, we don't know. And this is how we don't know. She was never searched there. By the time that she was arrested or detained or whatever they want to call it, they had left the club and had gone on a search. And as you say, Puff's own lawyer, Puff's own attorney admits that a weapon could have been discarded from that time until they were stopped. So we'll never know, but
well.
we
Hold on,
can't
hold on,
we
hold
but
on,
we
hold
hold
on,
on, but
hold
we
on,
cannot
hold on,
say
hold on,
she
hold
didn't
on,
have
hold on,
it.
hold on.
We can't say
You,
she
you
didn't have
can't.
it. We can't say she did. What we
You
can
can't.
say is we don't know.
Yeah, but what we do know is that Puffy was found not guilty. He was found uh, not guilty, and Shyne was found guilty, and the jury heard all the evidence, in that trial. And that's what we have to go on. And he can't be retried for that case in particular. I know as much as you might want to believe he did something just probably because of I guess whatever's happening now, but in that particular instance,
That's where
the
you're
jury found.
wrong. That's where
So
you're wrong.
why do you believe?
The
Why do you
reason,
believe?
like I said, because I'm not young. I'm old.
Well, but
I
again,
remember being back then. So I thought he was guilty then. I'm not just saying this because of the happenings of now. I thought he was guilty then. So
why'd you think then? Even then, why'd you think then?
because that's what made sense.
You,
I remember keeping up with it. I remember reading newspapers, trying to make sure that I could see as much as I could about the trial because I was interested in it. I wanted to know what was going on. I don't ever go on anything I hear. I wanted to read as much as I could about what was going on. And to me, a real person with common sense, that made the most sense to me. It never made sense that it was Shyne. One, because the victim has said from day one, I know who shot me. I saw who shot me. Why are we asking? I don't tell me. I know. I watched this man shoot me. I saw him with the gun. I saw him shoot me in my face.
so
So
let me ask you another
yeah,
question. The jurors heard the evidence.
and
You weren't
I
in. You were no. Hold on. The jurors heard
mhm,
the evidence. They heard her
mhm,
testimony. They heard expert
mhm,
testimony. They heard a plethora of things in
mhm.
that trial. Uh, if you, I believe, if you had sat in that courtroom throughout the trial, gavel to gavel, you might have came out with a different opinion. I'm sure you probably would have had a different opinion, but you don't have all. You don't have all the facts. You got bits and pieces. You don't. You haven't read a transcript. You haven't actually talked to prosecutors. You heard the victim talk over the years about obviously what she believed, but there was a different energy in that courtroom watching the testimony. And
I
I think
understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, and I remember the reporting from the time. What I also remember about the reporting of the time is that the jury was drained. They did not think that jury was going to be able to come to a conclusion. They had to send the jury back to keep deliberating. They also felt like everybody, including Puffy, had ulterior motives. They felt like Puffy wasn't telling the entire truth. They felt like the case, the police work was shoddy. And as far as that woman is concerned, I can understand. I mean, with a better DA and better preparation, and them providing her with, if you want me to testify, you want me to be there, then you need to provide me with some security. I'm telling you, I'm being threatened. I'm telling you, I've had to move out my home. I'm telling you, I'm scared to death. I'm telling you all of this. That's going to affect my the way I testify. That's going to address the way I come across. If you're not talking with me and prepping me and getting me ready for for trial, that's going to, and getting me ready for what I'm going to endure with high-powered lawyers that are going to be ready. They're going to be, because a defense attorney's job is to get their client off in a lawful way, is to convince the jury, to confuse the jury, to give the jury other options, to give the jury other scenarios that they could and should consider. So I
so
am not negating any of that.
so there a big old baby made a good point. There were other witnesses who had also identified Shine as the shooter.
Um,
There were multiple witnesses that said Shine was the shooter.
and again, as we were talking about this, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't misremember this, because I'm all about being accountable if I'm wrong. I went back and read because I
I'm sorry.
wanted to see what I want to, like, I not just remember this wrong? Because
Are you there? Did you mute yourself? Uh, I see her, but I don't hear her. If you guys can hear me, put a one in the chat because I don't hear her anymore. You might have to go out and come back in. You might have to go out and come back in. But to uh big old baby Huey's point, there were multiple witnesses that had identified Sean as the shooter. Could they have gotten it wrong? Could all the witnesses have gotten it wrong to who identify him? Because then, if these witnesses got it wrong, and they said they saw this, is it a possibility that if they got it wrong, could the victim have gotten it wrong? Like, I mean, there were people in that room. There were people that came forward. Could they have been influenced? Could someone got to them? Did anyone see the police report and the supplemental report that the cops did, the investigative reports? Had anyone seen the supplements to all the detectives that investigated this case? Did anyone read the transcript in its totality? Not a news report, but read the transcript. Has anyone in this chat have actually went to that trial? So these are the things questions I have. But my guest is back. I don't know what happened to your sound. Are you there?
My apologies. I have no earthly idea what happened. No, I'm not.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this. I feel so blessed today. Oh, I feel like dancing. Sugar dance machine. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. When the stars pull up, I gotta put them on stage. Welcome, the incredible V. Lenore.
You are a mess. You are a mess. How are you?
Good, V. Oh, V's in the building. In the building.
And what is this beautiful lady's name that's on your panel right now?
Her name is Andre Carr.
Hi, my name is Andrew.
Andrew. Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Very nice to meet you as well.
Now, I came up here because, well, first of all, I just got done with my training about 10 minutes ago. So I just happened to hear some of what Andrew was saying. Andrew, what you are saying is what I tried to test Byron about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Okay. And that is that the fact that anybody would suggest that J-Lo could not have possibly brought a pow into the club.
Thank you.
Considering
no different
that
than anyone else.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm being attacked right now. Go ahead.
A mess. The fact that she was dating Diddy, you don't think that she would also not be afraid to not do what he asked her to do? Do you not think that the people in the club, Dennis, might not be influenced by the fact that their favorite star possibly was there and may have committed a crime, or the fact that maybe because he too is dangerous and very connected, that he couldn't have gotten several witnesses. He couldn't have paid them off. He couldn't have done something to give them incentive to lie on his behalf. I mean, we're not going to act like this doesn't happen every day.
I mean, we have no proof to support that, so I'm not going to say
we
that.
We have no proof to say it could not have happened, especially when Shyne is now pretty much saying everybody knew he was the fall guy. When the victim is saying that she looked this man in his face when he looked at her in her face and shot her there.
Okay, so the jury said otherwise.
Huh? What you say?
I said the jury said otherwise. So listen.
No, the jury said based upon the evidence that was presented.
I'm getting attacked from the left and the right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being attacked from the left and the right. I think they probably had tea and coffee or something together earlier. But I'm gonna sit in the middle now. I'm in the middle. I'm getting attacked. You'll see this. They're ganging up on me.
What we had is common sense.
Thank you.
That we're not going to put this lady on a different plane than the average dope boy's girlfriend.
Thank you.
Who puts the gun in her purse every time it's handed to her in the club as well. That's how they get them in. Anybody, and you know that too, Dennis. You're being a contrarian on purpose.
Does know.
He's being a contrarian on purpose. I mean, it's good. It's good for the view. I get it. However,
no, he's been sticking with this story for a minute. I don't think this is for views. I think he lightweight. I don't know, Dennis. Why won't you just admit that this is a possibility?
Anything's a possibility. I would say.
Then why wouldn't you say that?
No, I'm saying it now on the record. Anything's a possibility. Now, do I believe that?
Yeah. Do you believe it?
Do I believe?
Do
it?
you believe it? You do, don't you?
No,
He does.
Listen, money talk and BS runs a marathon.
Thank
So,
you. Money
I would
talks,
say that.
don't it?
Right,
Don't money talk?
And I will say this, and I'll go on the record and say this. If you have $1 billion and you have the ability to get the pendulum swinging more in your direction with those resources, go for it. If that's what listen. You're paying attorneys that can't guarantee you a victory. There may be others can guarantee you a victory, like jurors, maybe witnesses,
Jurors, police officers,
right?
club
Absolutely.
owners, patrons. There's so many people that money can influence. And if your money is long, you can influence that many more people. He had the best attorney possible living at the time.
Absolutely.
Right.
And not just that, money could have influenced, as the victim herself said,
True.
could have influenced her had she not been after true justice, because she herself has said then and over the years, she was also offered money. The threats did not come until after she declined.
No, she definitely was offered money. She definitely was offered money.
So the threats did not come to her until she declined. She wanted justice, not the money.
Right.
So to say to this woman, she's offered money that she turns down. She never changes her story from that day to this one, even though she was under threat, even though she's had to move. To then come and say she didn't know who she was looking at in the eye, who shot her. That's a travesty.
Okay, so your belief, and you can tell me if you believe this or not. You believe that the jury was tainted, or you think that?
Sure. Why not? And even if the jury,
and they were fatigued as well. Go back and read. They were fatigued.
Well, hold on. Even if the jury was not tainted, the evidence could have been tainted, which then determines a different result. You may not get justice if everything you have is limited or skewed to choose from.
So I guess my question is, do we even trust the jury system in America? Because if you saying that
this isn't about the jury system, it's about who we're talking about that was on trial. It's not about the system per se. The system is flawed. Let's not even get that. Let's not even go back and forth about that. That's a whole nother show. We don't even have to debate it. The system is a problem, but within this system, it can work. And it.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt. I've got to take my son to his track meet.
Oh, okay.
Have a good one.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming up. You're more than welcome, and keep hope alive. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that if the evidence is tainted and the witnesses being part of the evidence, if they are tainted, why would you expect a fair and impartial jury to get it right? How can it get it right if everything they've been presented with is not the truth?
Allegedly.
I said if what they have been presented is not the truth, how can you expect them to get the right result?
Okay. So today, we were looking at Shyne's interview. He actually did. Well, if you look at the interview, he actually didn't he didn't say Puffy did anything. He just said he was always say maintain his innocence, and as he should. He felt that he got the short. He could have had a gun. He may not fire the gun. It could have been someone else in that room. It doesn't necessarily have to be Puffy. It could have been someone else in that room. It could have been anyone.
Did he say it was not Puffy?
He didn't say it was not Puffy.
Okay. But he did say it was not him, correct?
He said it wasn't him. And he didn't say it was Puffy either. He never said that either.
But he did not say it was not Puffy.
He didn't say it was or was not.
He said he was the fall guy. Did he not say that?
Right. So who was he the fall guy for? That's the
Thank you.
question.
Who was he the fall guy for?
Right.
Huh?
We don't know. We don't know.
Well, we know that Puffy was the only other individual that was considered, correct? Puffy's the one with
Yeah.
all the money. Puffy is the one that was looking at going to prison his damn self. Who else was looking at going to prison? But Shyne went, and when Shyne came out, he still didn't do him probably the way he was supposed to do him, but he did hook him up, didn't he, a little bit? Because he did what he needed him to do so that he could stay free. And if we are to believe that there's a possibility that this man could have actually unalived people in the past, why do you think he wouldn't have potentially shot a woman in her face?
I have no.
I said possibly.
Yeah, I don't know anything about unaliving anyone.
Oh, you don't know it. You haven't heard that he might have been responsible for Tupac's unaliving or Biggie's unaliving.
I heard the talk again.
Talk? You got a whole
talk.
witness out here saying he was hired by him. That's not good enough either, huh?
Are you talking about the guy who?
Keefe D, he's been saying this for years. He said this for over a decade. He told police over a decade ago, if not longer, that he was hired by Puffy.
You believe Keefe D?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you not believe him? Why? You know him personally?
Let me just say that'll be for another show. That'll be.
Do you know him personally?
That will be for another show.
Yes or no? That's a yes or no. You tell me a show to know whether or not you know this man.
No, I don't know him personally, but I've done my own research.
Okay. Hey, he's a street dude.
Right.
Okay.
Street dude that
you know Puffy? Do you know Puffy?
I heard of him.
Okay. My question would be, is he capable of lying?
Absolutely.
Is he capable of causing harm to people's lives?
I think anyone is.
Has he been proven to have possibly caused harm to someone's life?
Yes.
Okay.
City College.
Huh?
City College. City College with all those deaths that happened as a result of his party that he did at the college. Yes.
Oh, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that he had Cassie out here doing all kinds of things and physically harming her.
Listen. Elite is on it. Elite Leo's on it. They said Gene Deal is clout chasing, and I believe this other guy might be clout chasing as well.
First of all,
true gangsters are not getting on the internet. They're never going to tell. They're going to keep.
He wasn't on the internet talking about this shit. He was investigated for years by the LA.
He went on Flat TV and did a whole freaking interview.
After he had already told the police multiple documentaries and movies out. Wait, let me finish. Multiple documentaries and other reports had come out that he had said this 20 years ago about Biggie and Puffy. I mean about Tupac and all of this. Keefe D did not just start saying this.
Keefe D was in the car when his
nephew who shot Tupac. I mean, who shot
they pulled up because his nephew got his behind beat at the casino.
He pulled up because of that, but they were already coming there because Puffy had already contracted them to harm him. But because let me finish. But because that guy had because Tupac had gone off on old boy, they sped up the process. They knew where they were going to be and where to find them. Why is this hard to believe?
Well, hold on. You got to take that back. Everyone knew Tupac was going to be at the fights. They knew that. They knew
it was supposedly supposed to happen like the next day or something, not that night. It got sped up because of that fight in the casino.
I don't believe it. I do not believe that. I do not believe that.
Do you think that the police Okay, forget that. Do you think Puffy has the ability to bribe the police?
Absolutely.
Are you suggesting that he may not have ever under any circumstance? They say they were in his pocket.
With me, ever under any circumstance. I could never say that. I can't talk about what is ever. I would say that anything.
I didn't say that you know something for a fact. I said, do you believe? My question is clear.
Please rephrase your question, ma'am.
I'm not going to rephrase it. Do you believe he has the ability to bribe the po-po for his benefit?
I believe he and anyone else with resources have the ability to bribe the police.
Then that's why you can't rule him out, period.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, we've heard the closing arguments of both myself and Vida Lenore. She's giving a possibility. I'm going to rest on the fact that nothing has ever been substantiated to prove that
the police have had in their reports for years that Puffy was the reason and behind the payment of these people.
They investigate him. They investigate Puffy because they investigate him.
But yeah, and if you
they cleared him.
If you pay the police, you will be.
They cleared him, ladies and gentlemen. They cleared him.
Who cleared him?
The LAPD.
And who was he paying?
In Vegas, please.
And who was he paying? Lil Rod said that what's his name? Raheem. Wait. We're gonna that Mr. Muhammad has a way of getting rid of people. Is that possible?
Who?
Mr. Muhammad, his head of security, that he has a way of making things and people disappear.
I know nothing about that.
Well, you got to go do your research, Mr. Journalist.
No, I said I don't know nothing about what his ability is to do that, and I don't think.
I didn't say you know. I said this is what this man said, and if that is true,
he said, of course he said it. People say he said some things in that complaint that sounded just so far fetched. I mean,
what sounded far fetched? Give me the example. One thing he said that sounded far fetched.
The whole shooting in the bathroom and him not being. Did you see
that? That's far fetched. That's far fetched.
Did he do that, or did his son do it?
Did you see the blood in that bathroom?
I saw a picture.
I
don't know.
Okay, that's the point. That's the point. Listen to what you're saying.
I saw a picture. I didn't see the video.
Listen to what you're saying. You saw the pool of blood in that bathroom, but we are to believe that this man got shot outside the building. Wouldn't that level of blood be outside the building where he got shot? And wouldn't it be traces of blood from the front to the bathroom?
We know that the police are re-looking at that case right now.
Why? Why would they relook at it? There's no reason to relook at it because you said it sounds far-fetched.
Well, no. He made
no. That's what you just said.
No, he put it. Listen. Once you put it in a court filing, they have to investigate. They have to investigate.
No, they don't. They don't have to investigate. If that's the case,
they have to because there's a possibility that they close.
They don't have to. They are doing it because it sounds reasonable based upon all of the other facts.
Don't sound reasonable. It may be.
It's very reasonable. Let me ask you another question. Who did Tupac think shot him the first time he got shot? Who did he say shot him?
So at Quad Studios?
Yes. Who did he say shot him?
You know who he said.
No, I'm asking you.
You know who he said.
Who did he say?
It came from the West Coast.
Came from the West Coast.
The West Coast. Who do you think he said shot him from the West Coast?
He thought Biggie had shot him because he knew Puffy was involved. Puffy was, dude, are you playing with me? Puffy is who he thought shot him the first time and who I believe wholeheartedly shot him the next. Why is it all of these people die around this nigga?
He actually believed that Haitian Jack might have had something to do with it.
And who's Haitian Jack?
a very influential person back in the day.
Is he connected to Puffy?
He knows Puffy.
Did Puffy know that Tupac was at that studio that day? That's why he thought Biggie was involved, because of his relationship with Puffy, because he knew Puffy had some shit to do with it.
There's a lot of, let me say something. There's a lot of relationships out in this business.
Queen Black, I know Dennis playing. He that's why I can't.
You know, there are people who have a lot of relationships in this business over the many, many, many years. And some people just maintain their relationships. So maybe, you know, some people
and you're making my point, not yours. My point is Puffy has a lot of relationships that keep him safe. And people are either afraid of him or they take falls for him because he pays them to, because they're afraid of him.
I don't think they're afraid of, I don't think people are afraid of him.
Why do people think he killed his baby mama? Why do people think he poisoned Albie Shore and poisoned Jamie Foxx? And
so let me ask a question. We ain't doing gossip. We're not doing gossip.
I think all of this is gossip. Doesn't make it not true.
Albie Shore has never said Puffy.
Yes, he did.
What did he say? When did he say Puffy poisoned him? He didn't say that.
What did he
He
say?
never said Puffy.
What did he say, Dennis? He said, "Now I hope y'all believe me." He knew Kim was killed by him.
He's never said Puffy poisoned him. Show me where he says that. Someone pull the article where he said that. He never said that.
He said, "I bet you believe me now."
Believe him about what? He's always been talking in circles. He's never said Puffy poisoned him. He's never said that. He's been talking in circles. So I'm not going to say that, and you can't say that either.
I can say whatever I want to say. I believe Albie Shore was correct that Puffy had something to do with the death of Kim Porter. Kim Porter's ex, what was his name? Not ex, but her fiance. What was his name? Shamar. What was his name?
Shakira Stewart.
Thank you.
Shakira Stewart.
How did he die, Dennis?
It was suicide. That's what was reported.
Yeah, that's convenient, huh? And Kim had what? Pneumonia. Young, healthy woman.
People die at all ages. They die at all ages.
She thought she was. They also died by being poisoned and being killed. That's another way.
That was not in the autopsy report. Poison was not in.
You're not going to sit here and act like somebody with this type of money and power cannot pay for autopsy.
The conspiracy. The feds would have the ability.
Wait.
Anybody can.
Wait. No, Dennis, because see, you're blowing your own credibility now.
No.
Because her medical report. Wait. Yes, you are. Because wait. I'm gonna show you how. Because Kim's medical report initially came back suspicious. That was looking like a homicide. And then instantly it became pneumonia. Now you explain that, Dennis.
Maybe you want me to explain it? Maybe maybe the first report was inaccurate, and then they did a further investigation and came back with the conclusion of a better report, which resulted in a cause of death, pneumonia.
Okay. The other thing that could happen is it was right.
Could happen.
And then somebody with power and influence can then pay to have it changed. Because that has never happened in the history of America. That has never happened in America, right? That has never happened. I think we're able to dismiss it because he's a black man who is rich doing it. I don't give a damn what color he is. If he's evil, if he's the devil, and if he's killing people, he needs to go down. And he gonna get his. He gonna get screwed just like he likes it, all up in prison. It's coming. This day's coming. He can take that all day and night up in prison, as far as I can give a damn.
Why don't we get Puffy on the phone and we
call him? Call that little raggedy ass nigga. I don't care. Call his ass. I don't give a shit about him.
Why don't we get Diddy on the phone and we ask him these questions?
Call him. He's scared. He ain't gonna get on here and say shit because they up his ass right now. Okay.
Put a 1 in the chat if we want to get Diddy on the phone. Put a 1 in the chat. I want V to keep the same energy when he gets on this line.
Ooh, call him. I'm gonna have the same energy. Because if he get on here threatening me, I'm gonna get a check next. Okay.
You got to be able to cash it.
That's true, because he ain't got no damn money no more. All his money is going to legal expenses. Okay. That's why people get smart. They sue with everybody, not just Puffy, but everybody who funded his.
No, hold on. Someone said, was I at Diddy's parties? I went to several of Diddy's parties, and
I'm sure he did.
No, hold on. No, but listen,
that's Mrs. Poo Poo.
No, I documented. I went to the parties. I shot at.
I bet you did. You and Jamie Foxx up there with cameras.
No. Listen. I didn't go to the after party. I went to the party at Cipriani's, at all the crazy venues in New York. But no. Listen. Show me the video. Where you see these things and people say this crazy thing happened. You know, the thing is produce the videos. Because the parties I went to, I ain't see nothing happening. There was who's who, Naomi Campbell, Jay-Z. I mean, there was.
They say they next.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
That's what they say.
Crazy.
They say they next.
Sarah V ain't ready. She ain't ready for Puff.
I'm ready, Sarah. I'm ready for Puff. Puff, bring it.
Come step to death row.
And then when I come up missing, I'll make sure my son get the check. Okay.
And no. We listen. You're in a protected class. Don't worry.
What class is that?
Don't worry. You'll get. I'm letting the boys know that I got you under control. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, good.
You're in a protected class right now. So
tell Diddy
don't push it. Don't. Be nice. Be nice now.
Uh-oh. Rich said, I went to dinner with aliens last night. Exactly. Those stories are just as good as Dennis's stories about Puffy being some kind, great citizen. He's a criminal. Okay? Know that.
You just don't like Puffy. You just don't like him.
I used to love Puff until I started learning more about this dude. He does
Rich Rasta. They got no proof. Rich Rasta. They just trying to drag another black man.
You have no proof he's innocent. That's the problem.
Okay, so did you hear the interview that was conducted with Glenn Beck, the security from the nightclub, New York nightclub? Or did you come? Oh, you came on after the fact.
Yeah, what is that? What you just talked about?
Yeah, we played it, and Glenn actually.
Oh damn!
I want to get Glenn back over here real quick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in your fair city, over here working.
You here?
Yeah.
What? No. Ladies and gentlemen, we had to end the live.
I'm here. I'm here for work, but I'm here.
Yeah. I'm pulling up. You already know what it is. Hold
on. So wait, he was here. This guy, he was.
Hold on a second. Puffy, I got V. Lenore, the girl who's starting all the trouble on the internet. She's claiming she has smoke for you. I just want you to just talk to her. Oh, she's not here. She left. All right, I'll call you back, sir. Go, V, where you at?
I'm coming back. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Now, wait a minute. What's his story now? He was. What's this dude's story? If you vouching for him, I got to be concerned. Okay, what now?
You got to be concerned. Oh my goodness.
What now?
Listen, we're gonna end this live because we got to do another one, and I had to make a run to the city. Hint, hint. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, any questions, any concerns, anything? V, final words.
I don't have any. Puffy's going down, and I'm here to watch it. Okay.
What the heck? V, don't bring the violence. We choose peace over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I really do. This has been a very entertaining live. And of course, it wouldn't be entertaining live without V Lenore. With that said, until next time, we are out of here.